Yep, what's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? About to get it started. Mm, Okay, hold on 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. About to send this link out so we can go get it on and popping. Shit, what's up? Okay. Okay, check it out. About to get it on. Let some people come up in here. How you all doing? So I just post the link on the. Let me post the link again on the page. We're waiting for Jen to come in any minute now, so we can start this topic on if do we limit, do as artists in the film industry, do we limit our our craft if we don't do like sex scenes and stuff like that, or do if I don't direct the sex scene, or if actresses or actors don't do sex scenes, is it anyway limiting what you do or what we do? So we're about to. So if you want to come in, if you want to definitely come on to the panel so we can hear what you have to say. Do we limit in terms of, in terms of as artists, like, if you refuse to do a kissing scene or scene or a sex scene, like, do you limit how far you can go in this business?
Hello.
We waiting for you.
Who's on? Who's on?
I don't know who's on yet, but there are people on.
Okay. I'm a little under the weather.
You'll be okay.
I know.
Drinking that Puerto Rican rum.
I just had 2 shots of some Don Q. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. This morning I was like, I don't even know why I drink. It's really horrible. I don't know why anybody drinks. It's really terrible.
Yeah. How often do you drink?
The last time I drank was at PAFF at our premiere.
Oh, really?
Yes, I don't drink. Like I very, very rarely drink. That was the last time.
Oh, wow.
I have my champagne if I'm celebrating something, or maybe
we were all celebrating.
Yeah, if we're celebrating something, or on New Year's Eve, I'll do my champagne. But I'm not a big drinker. Back in the day, when I was a youngin', I'd have my 40 ounces on the stoop in the Bronx.
40 ounces. You went back. You went all the way back.
Yeah, OE. You know what I'm saying? It was cheap beer. And
Cisco, remember Cisco?
I remember it was poison. I guarantee you could start a car with Cisco. It's really bad, really bad. And then Alizé. It's just horrible things we did to our bodies back in the day. Mm-hmm. Just terrible. Yeah. I'm not a big drinker, to be honest. I don't like the taste, so I have to drink as fruity as possible. So I'll do a white wine or a white sangria. Like the more fruity it is, the better it is for me. But I'm like, I might as well drink juice for that.
Yeah, that sangria is my drink of choice.
Which one you like, the white or the red?
I like both, but normally I like both. But I like the red, but I like the white. Either one is good, you know.
I don't like red wine, so that's why I don't like red sangria. I don't like red wine.
Yeah, same. It's cool. So you ready? You ready to get into it?
I'm ready. What do we talk about? You gotta help me out.
Oh, so you came up with the topic, which was I think.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're there. Okay. So today's topic is it possible to have a successful acting career without ever doing a sex scene or, doing nudity? And also for the writers, is it ever possible for a director or writer to have a very successful film career without ever dealing with sex scenes or nudity? So that's the question for today. What are your opinions on that, now versus how it was back in the day, or vice versa? What are your opinions on can an actor have a successful career without ever getting naked or avoiding sex scenes? And for the directors, can you be successful without writing in a sex scene for your film? And I think you can start, because I don't think you've ever had a sex scene, right?
No, I've never had a sex scene.
Wow, because I know you got some romantic movies out, so you've never had people having sex, really?
No, never had a sex scene.
How do you get around it? Like, how do you show intimacy between a couple without, look, before anybody comes at me, I know you can have intimacy without sexual intercourse. I'm asking creatively, because people get offended. But so how do you go about writing? Because you have to be a good writer to describe intimacy, you know what I mean, and have the audience think, oh wow, these people are romantically involved without taking their clothes off. So how do you do that?
Oh no, I could just name two films, right? With Black Coffee. One of the I think it was the Roger Ebert site, which is Chicago Sun-Times. They still have the article, so I think it was that site when they did their review of Black Coffee. And one of the things they said was there wasn't no sex in there, of course, and they talked about the kiss. They didn't kiss until maybe like 80% into the movie. It's like, so that's one of the things that, but, and then when you look at My First Love, of course there was no sex scene. We just, so in My First Love, you haven't seen My First Love, right?
I have.
Yeah. Okay. So in My First Love, the scene when Gabriel has the red dress on and Pooch comes in from working out, and then
no, I didn't see that.
You saw No Regrets.
I saw No Regrets and the butterfly with
Black Butterfly.
Black Butterfly. I didn't see that one because I would have remembered Pooch. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Pooch. So he comes in and then they kiss, and when we kiss, I just move them out of frame. You know what I'm saying? So I never showed them actually having sex. And I don't know why. I would. Yeah, I don't know. I just never You
never saw a reason for it to put a sex scene. Would you though, or was that just your thing, not doing sex scenes? Would you?
I would. It depends. But you know what is the funny thing? So the funny thing was when I was directing, we were shooting White People's Money. It was
White People Money. That's what the film I was in. That's what it's called. White People Money.
White People Money. Okay. So
Okay.
when we were doing White People Money, there was a scene with Drew and Barton Fitzpatrick. And when we just sold the ideal of sex, and they were like, that was like the first time I actually like being in a room. Because I know, like in back of my, I was like, she's a married woman, so I want to be very careful how I do this scene, and I have to keep that in mind, And so I was like, how do you all feel comfortable doing this? And they said, what do you want? I was like, well, shit, let's just see something. Let's just see what y'all, So I let them but the way we talked it out is the fact that I allowed them just to do what they would normally do, and that's what we got from the scene. I was happy I did that, because instead of giving them like, I want you to get on top of her, I just said, just play it out. Let's just see what y'all have to do. And so I just said, we're gonna start from here. And I want y'all to, I want y'all, just on the direction I gave it. We'll start from the end of the bed. I want you all to go, end up at the head of the bed. And so when I hit screen action, they started from the end of from the top of the bed, and they did their thing, was cracking jokes, and it came out very well. But that
you're talking about, but that was
a comedy.
Right, a comedy. I think you can get away with simulated sex.
Yeah.
And a comedy, and it was really funny. You talking about like when he was on top of her, and then he was like, "Well, let me hit it from the back or whatever, from the side." It was hilarious. It was really hilarious.
Yeah.
But in your serious films, how do you go about creating intimacy without showing, sex?
I mean, the thing is that I've just never written it in my films, and I'm not opposed to it. I just never written it. You know what I'm saying? But there are a numerous amount of directors who, as I think about it, who went throughout their career and hadn't done any. I mean, as far as I know, when you look at Martin Scorsese, when you look at Francis Ford Coppola, when you look at, I want to say, Steven Spielberg, because most of this stuff is science fiction. I haven't seen him doing any major sex scenes. So when you look at these directors who had some very successful careers, who are the most successful filmmakers of all time, I mean, I just can't recall. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I just can't recall them doing sex scenes in their films. Because when you look at The Goodfellas, I mean, I don't remember a sex scene in The Goodfellas or Casino or anything like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
What are people saying here? What's up, Deanna? I haven't seen you in a while.
Deanna been tripping.
Okay, so you just don't write them in.
You said what now?
So you just don't write them in.
Well, I don't have a reason to. I really don't have a reason to.
But you still technically didn't answer my question. I'm asking you a question like you're Hemingway. Are you familiar with the author?
Yeah, of course. I was at the bar that he used to drink at in Cuba.
Okay, so then his style of writing was so descriptive, right? He described the smell in the air and the shade of sun and the feeling of the sand on your feet. And so my question is, how do you go about creating intimacy without penning it? Do you leave that up to the actors?
Oh, yes, I definitely leave that up to the actors.
Okay, gotcha.
When it's, say for instance, even when, if you look at let me give you an example, right? You saw Black Butterfly.
Yes.
Which was a very, very graphic scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
To some people, but if you notice the way that scene was, and that's not it. Okay, again, it's not an intimate. It's a scene that's more graphic than even an intimate. I mean, than a actual sex scene. But it was a rape. So, but the idea of shooting that scene came from looking at the behind the scenes of the movie with Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne when she played Tina Turner.
Uh-huh.
What's love got to do with it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you notice when I shot that scene, everything was shot wide shot. So I told Ricardo we got in the back of the kitchen. It was a wide shot, and the entire scene was shot in one shot. It was a wide shot, right? She comes through the door, and it all took place. So I got that idea to shoot it that way because I didn't want it to be so graphic, right? I don't want people to see her face. I don't want people to see him doing all the things that he was doing to her. So everything was shot wide, and it was written that way into the script. You know what I'm saying? And so, but
why didn't you want it to be graphic? It's rape.
Yeah, but I didn't want. First of all, I knew a black man was playing this role.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't want to put black people in a bad light.
I didn't want to sell that whole ideal of, that's one of the things. And then that's really one of the one of my main decisions. Like how, because I know that I knew I was, because I got a few emails about, in terms of him playing that role, a black man, having a black man in that role. So I knew I was gonna get some flack for it, right? So I wanted to be very careful how I actually played that character. And that's one of the things, is the fact that I didn't want to show all of it. I didn't want to be so graphic with it. Even though it was graphic, but I didn't want to be so graphic with it.
But I'm glad you mentioned that, because I have a serious question for you, since you're always asking me these questions. Right?
All right. I thought we was gonna talk about something else. We about to do an interview now.
No, we're talking about the same subject.
Okay, cool.
Regarding kind of like under the umbrella of sex scenes and love scenes and rape scenes, and you said that you didn't want to, have a black man looking whatever monstrous. Right. And you got emails about it, right? And it's kind of like, we don't want to be depicted as evil human beings, but it's like, are we sometimes too whimsical about it? Like, do black men not rape?
Yeah, but
is it a thing that because we're people of color, we shouldn't show that because other people show them as monstrous, so we're gonna pull back and not show black people committing crimes or committing rape? Like, you understand? It's like there's a thin line. So it's like, even though this really happens in our communities, we're not going to show it as filmmakers because black people are going to get offended.
No.
But doesn't art imitate life?
Yeah, but just keep in mind, right? Images are very important, right? So if you look at Birth of a Nation, and then the whole thing, because we know that how, I'm talking about the original Birth of a Nation.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the remake. Okay.
Right. So in the original Birth of a Nation, right? The way they actually were tried to justify the lynching and the hanging and the crucifixion and just killing black men and black people in general, is the fact that they use that movie and they show black men as rapists. So I always have to keep things like that in mind when I'm doing, like I have a responsibility. We have a responsibility. So I always have to keep those things in mind whenever I'm doing those type of films, because I knew the fact that, I knew the result of if you look at a movie like Birth of a Nation, that was used, right? It was used to paint black men as monsters, right? And that justified lynchings. You know what I'm saying? And that justified the destruction of different black communities, because that's why it was so easy for them to say that in Tulsa, Oklahoma, for them to say this is one example, one of many examples, to say, okay, a black man touched my butt, or black man whistled at me, or look at Emmett Smith and say, Emmett Till, and say, a black man whistled at me, and it was so easy for a black man to be lynched. So I'm very conscious in terms of when I was doing this film, that I didn't want to paint black men or be responsible for what's going on today. Like a black man was just killed, but when you see the police brutality, so all of those images create an ideal, or put certain things in the mindset, in the subconscious mindset of people. Period. So I feel that in terms of, I do have a responsibility not to show black people or in those type of positions.
So it puts it in the mindset of who? White people?
No, of us, of people in general.
Okay.
Yeah, people in general. Yeah.
Okay.
Even like images, right, are very important, right? Because right, you know that, right? Images are very important. I had put a post up, right, and I had put a post up, and I was like, I'm very careful, and as you know, like how I portray, and not how I portray black people, and how I portray us across the board. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just not going to, you already know, I'm not going to. You have to just be very careful.
Okay. So let's see if anybody got anything to say.
But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I'm just challenging that. Challenging it.
I know.
I mean, because it's like, I'm like, art imitates life, and it's like we, people of color, we do commit crimes.
Yeah, we do. But
I have but my thing is, I have a personal issue with, when Black people do commit crimes, we try to excuse it because we like them. So it's a thin line, right? It's like, and I think sometimes we're caught in the whimsy where it's like, we can't look bad no matter what. Don't ever make us look bad. So then when someone does commit a heinous crime, say like in R. Kelly, it's like, we're not going to talk about that. We don't take that business out in the street. So it's kind of like, I think, you know what I mean? There is a reality where it's like, yeah, some of us could be fucking monsters with each other too. And that has to be addressed as well. Well, I don't care what white people think. Right?
No, but we can't. I see what you're saying, and no one is. I know for me particular, I'm not trying to excuse any type of behavior, but at the same time, it's not about those men who do commit crimes. It's about those men who do not commit crimes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I got it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So I see Malcolm Banks is on. Malcolm, you're gonna love this subject, Mr. Method. Malcolm, the subject is, can an actor, actress, thespian have a successful acting career without ever doing nudity or a sex scene? And also, as a writer-director, can a writer-director have a successful career without ever writing sex into a script, without ever shooting a sex scene? That is the topic today.
Yeah, I wish Ricardo Islas can come on. Ricardo Islas.
Islas?
Yeah.
That's how you spell his name?
That's he's from Uruguay.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, isn't that Isles?
So I just tagged them because I know him and Malcolm had a big debate on Malcolm's page about this, about kissing.
Do tell, because I know Malcolm is the advocate for swapping saliva and pretending you're with that person even offset.
He's an actor. What's wrong with that?
I know Malcolm's an advocate for like, nah, if you play my woman in the movie, you my woman 24 hours while I'm with you.
Yeah, so there are numerous of directors who just never, who've directed films, and you just, they don't have to, Michael Bay, his thing, Michael Bay,
I mean, well, my answer is I absolutely oh shit, am I fucking on my screen? My answer is I absolutely think that you can be successful whether you're a director, a writer, an actor, and never do nudity or a sex scene. It's very, very possible, but you have to start out being, talented, so you can have a little leverage. You know what I mean?
So you think sex scenes? Do you think sex scenes actually sell a movie?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. If you have somebody like Jason Momoa, The Rock, or
we're not speaking it hypothetically speaking. Let's base this off movies that have already been made.
Sex sells, period. So in the movies I've seen where the aforementioned have been shirtless or sweaty or Brad Pitt laying in a bed, and you put that in the trailer, of course that sells the movie. It's like romance novels put, the girl on the guy without the shirt holding her up. I mean, sex sells. It sells, it sells, it sells. We're sexual creatures. So I absolutely think, yes. Once you make an actor a sex symbol and you put them on
I'm not asking about them being a sex symbol. I'm saying in a movie, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you think because we're talking about sex in particular, sex that scenes with sex in it, right?
Yes.
So do you think that caused the movie to be successful because we have sex in a movie?
Yes, I think it's a component. I say yes. Tú no me estás escuchando. I said yes. It absolutely does.
Okay.
But it comes from the actor being a sex symbol. Because if I see two trailers, right, and I see, let's say, Angelina Jolie, you know what I mean, in a bed giggling with the sheet up to here, and it's like there's a possibility, my mind already says she may be naked in this movie. But if I see Viola Davis in the same exact trailer in a bed with the sheet up to her giggling, I don't care to, my brain doesn't say, "Ooh, it's going to be Viola Davis is going to turn up and be sexy." I, for one, the movie Original Sin with Angelina Jolie and Antonio Banderas, that sex scene is, it is out of this world. And I've, rewinded it. I was like, I got to see this again. Like, this is crazy. Sex scene. So it absolutely can sell a film. Sex sells everything. Sex sells pens. Like, sex sells, of course.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the topic?
Malcolm is here.
Y'all talking about sex sales?
Right.
Malcolm Banks.
So you want to tell Malcolm what the
There you go, buddy.
I told him the topic. I said the whole thing. You didn't hear me?
No, I just got on. I'm sorry. You said sex sales. I was trying to get on, and then I'm also dealing with my son.
Okay.
Everywhere.
All right. So the topic is it possible as an actor and actress to have a successful career without ever doing nudity or a sex scene? And then for directors, is it possible for a director or writer to have a successful career without ever writing in a sex scene or shooting a sex scene? So is it possible to have a very successful career and never be like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's a few times. Let's see. Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise. I mean, he did. Tom Cruise did Eyes Wide Shut, but that was with his wife. I don't know if that counts. At the time, I mean, it's totally doable. Denzel did his stuff.
It took a while for Denzel to do his, though.
It did, and then every time Denzel did his stuff, it was tasteful. Especially, what was it? With at the time,
that shit with Sanaa Lathan was straight nasty. It wasn't tasteful.
It was. He had his clothes on. They both had their clothes on. It was tasteful.
What about?
It was rough, but it was tasteful.
I didn't. Well, I don't know.
They had clothes on. They just was taking body parts out. That's all. They was unzipping. They ain't nothing come out though. They was just getting at it, but it still was tasteful. It wasn't like power. It wasn't no power.
I didn't have to see Denzel in a sex scene, and I would have been good. Like if his whole career would have went by without him ever being in a sex scene, I would have never felt like, damn, I wonder what Denzel looks like without a shirt. Like he would have been fine without it. I think Omari, what's his name? Omari Hardwick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's no Denzel, so he has to sell them pecs. He has to sell that six pack. He has to sell that shit because, honestly speaking, Omari doesn't keep me glued to a scene. Matter of fact, when he's doing his dialogue, he's annoying to me. So if he takes his shirt off, I may look a little longer.
Okay.
His shirt is off because I don't like to see him out. But if his shirt is off, I'll be like, okay, let me see what that six pack is looking like this month or whatever. So I think some actors, they lead with their sexuality, and they have.
But see that right there kind of kills the art when people kind of just get people for sex appeal or look only. Like Denzel is the total package. Wesley Snipes is also the total package. Other, strong. Samuel Jackson is the total. He can kill on both levels.
Yeah.
Like they are talented enough to keep you engaged with dialogue, and if the script is great, then they're gonna win. Period. They don't need to have their shirts off or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's a fine line between, like, I think sex, a beautiful actor or actress, opposed to a person who has a cinematic look, which is that, which I think when I say.
Explain now. What's the difference between cinematic look and someone?
A cinematic look is a person who I believe is an everyday woman or man. So it's not unbelievable not to see yourself in that character.
Like
so
porn?
Say what?
Like porn.
Like porn. There you go. Like porn. It's porn. Everybody look. You can get people love. What is it? When they do it themselves. Home videos, whatever.
Amateur.
amateur porn.
Like,
People love amateur porn. So there you go. That's a prime example of, and not to say that's a cinematic look, but but to say like they can see themselves in that role, like, oh yeah, we can do this, baby. Come here, let me show you. Let me, see if we can play that part. So that's what I say. Like those guys are your everyday kind of look. So, and women too. It's hard. I mean, it's a hard sell, but there's a lot of beautiful women. So, like, it's I can't think of her name. Nia Long. Nia Long is beautiful, but you can find the Nia Long in the hood somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen her in the sex scene though?
Who?
Nia Long. Have you seen her in a sex scene? Have you ever done a sex scene?
She did one with Kevin Hart, like a little comedy joint.
Oh, okay.
And then Boys in the Hood, she did those sex scenes.
Oh, that's right, she did. Yeah. But it was tasteful. Again, you don't have to get. I don't believe you need to go power crazy, like how they get down. You can be tasteful and subtle. I don't even like. I never watched Monsters Ball because I love Halle Berry. I just can't do it. I never watched that, and I never will. I can't do it.
Well, it wasn't tasteful. It was gross.
I heard it wasn't tasteful, so I was like, oh yeah, I can't do that. Can't do it. That's with some old.
I didn't realize that Halle Berry has a huge splotch on her ass, a birthmark I didn't know about before.
See, I won't be doing that. I won't be doing
that scene is real. I don't know what that woman was going through or what she thought it was going to do or trying to prove, but yeah.
That's what she wanted to get an Oscar.
Yeah, you could keep the statue.
You can. I wouldn't do it for that.
It was rough. Deanna, Mark, are you here on your own live? Hello.
Yeah, I'm promoting the show.
Okay, so Deanna says, what's the big idea about just creating films just because of an idea? Is it any film director's duty to be careful of what they release, or is it a certain type of concept that is off limits? Think of horror films, for instance. Should we not kill off Black people first?
Hell no, you shouldn't kill Black people off first because it's not realistic. First of all, you can't even write a true dumb horror film with Black people because we wouldn't even be in that situation.
I know
we game too fast. We'd be like, wait, what's going on? I saw. Did you not see that? They're not going over there. It's over with. End roll the credits. That just ain't us.
Is here.
Ricardo, come on out. Come in, Ricardo. I'm trying to get Ricardo to come in, Malcolm.
Oh, get him in here.
Malcolm, would you do a sex scene?
Yeah, I mean, I will. I always, when I read the script, and I try to find. I need to know what this is about, and also because I got a family, I got my stuff that I got to keep straight. You know what I mean? So I have my name, my reputation. I need to know who the cameraman is. I need to know all that. Because you got to kill this. You got to kill this, and it can't look bogus. You just got to kill it. If you do it right, like Higher. I mean, there's a bunch of great examples. Higher Learning, Boomerang sex scenes was tasteful. They weren't all crazy. They were memorable. You know what I'm saying? There's ways to go about it and do it the right way. And yeah, I definitely would. I would do it. It's got to be the right way. We had to have that conversation when they did. I think Idris Elba and this white lady. I forgot the name of the movie. But they had a conversation before they before they shot the scene, and they talked about how it was going to be done and how tastefully it was going to be, and they moved forward from there. So you have to have those conversations, especially with physical scenes. You have to. Can't just be like, okay, what do you want to do? You have to have a plan. You gotta attack it like a stunt. It's a stunt. Period.
Do you think some of those scenes are real?
Hmm?
Do you think some of those scenes are real?
I don't know. I don't think so because of insurance. Like, I wouldn't play with it. Some people may. I did hear some people do some crazy stuff on set, but so I wouldn't put it past nobody.
I've heard that before too. Is some scenes were real, like they were really having sex. They were method acting, right, Malcolm?
You got jokes. That's a little further than method acting, okay? That's the way it is. This ain't drinking no alcoholic beverage trying to be alcoholic on set. That's a little mo. But yeah.
What, Ricardo?
Mark, would you write a sex scene?
I would, but I just haven't had, you know, had the I just haven't had the script to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And I think it's important. See, people always kind of throw sex scenes in because their script is weak as well. Sometimes they just throw that shit in there and be like, maybe throw a sex scene in here, just trying to spice it up, and it don't make no sense to do it. So it's also sometimes you can tell it's a lack of mental capacity to come up with something else creative with the storyline or keep the story moving. Sometimes stuff is like pointless to be having sex.
The director want me looking at some titties.
You say what?
Sometimes the director want to look at some titties. Sometimes
that's the case. Right? When you can tell those, you can tell. Like, man, he showed his buddy with old girl. Right.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple walkthroughs first.
The first film I was ever in, the director was like that, blatantly like that. Ricardo Isla says, Mark, one day just have me in one of these talking about this, but I'm a lazy typer. Enjoy the sex, I mean the talk.
Ricardo.
She don't understand Ricardo's humor.
Oh.
I understand it. I just think it's not humorous. Is that okay?
You gotta understand Ricardo.
I try to explain, like, you know, people like Ricardo. I was like, you're not gonna change. Everybody grows up in their own mental way, like about whatever's going on in their life. So you have to, dude, what is you doing? Jeez, crazy with the water.
Baby.
Yes, he's tripping. But you can't change anybody's mindset, or you have to get on. Like, everybody got their friend who talks how they talk, and they may make inappropriate jokes, but you know this person, you know who they are. So you like, oh, he just being.
Since he's not speaking for himself, I have no idea what's his stance on this. So I understand the joke. Maybe if I know his stance.
I produced several of his movies before.
Huh?
Ricardo could speak for himself, but I produced several of his movies. He has done scenes with some sex in it. He has no problem with it.
He has no problem with
it. No, he's for it. You know, the conversation came up on Malcolm's page, and Ricardo was like, if you're not, and correct me if I'm wrong, Malcolm, about,
I guess
Ricardo was like, Ricardo, he's one of those, those old school directors. So he said, if an actor is not willing to kiss in the scene, they're not a real actor or something. Is that what he said?
He was, basically, he's taking it from the thought of, if you're thinking about, oh, I'm not kissing this person, then you're putting blockers out there. Or, that he's saying that if you're doing that, then you're not a real actor. If you're not open to doing whatever in the film, then you're not a real actor. And to each his own.
Right.
And to each his own, right? And I told everybody, I was like, hey, to each his own. You can't, everybody's got their own thing. I was trying to clear the air, like, oh no, I think he means like if you on set and blah blah blah. But he's like, no, I mean what I'm saying. I like, well, that's what he means. So
I have a rebuttal.
go ahead.
I think if you can't create intimacy between two people without having a sex scene, you're not a real writer. You're not a real director. Because if someone came to me and said, Jen, I need you to write a scene. I can't have intercourse going on in the scene, but I need you to create intimacy between these two people. I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to me, it's like it's a stupid point to say, oh, you're not a real actor if you're not going to kiss on scene. Because I say, then you're not a real writer. Because I can create intimacy without sex.
Yeah, no, I agree with it. It doesn't have to be physical contact. There's no intimacy can be shown within the eyes. It's not hard to do, not at all. I mean, it's you can show eye contact. You can show it's the subtle things that show they have a bond, a relationship. It's not always over the top kissing and hugging or groping somebody, showing titties and da 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 da. You ain't gotta. I mean, those are cool, but it doesn't show everything. And it's
still, in my opinion, it's still a misogynistic point of view because we don't see dicks, right? We see titties all the time. We see coochie, we see ass, but we still don't see dicks. We very, 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 very rarely do we see an actor's dick. So it's still from a misogynistic point of view. It's not just nudity in general. It's female nudity.
There's a reason why.
Yeah, please take that over, Mark.
Yeah, there's a reason why, Jen.
Why is that?
Because most women, when you're dealing with those type of films, like romance films and stuff like that, those films are tailored to women. And even though they're showing women are more open to seeing the body of another woman, the men are seeing the body of another man. So here's my point. My point is when it's time to go to the show, and most times when men, when we go see stuff like that, we normally are dragged to the show by the woman. And so that's what when they're doing this type of stuff, this is what they have in mind. So women are more open to seeing the body of another, like a man, we're in the show and you see some man swinging, like, I don't want to see that. But women are more open to looking at the naked body of another woman.
Mm-hmm. And also, I mean, like, in what manner?
You think men are doing that for us? You think men are having actresses go topless for us?
No. We're not doing it.
Some titties, so I'm gonna show women some titties.
No, they're not. They're doing it for the box office. It's for the box office. It's not for you all, because they're dealing with a certain thinking, a certain mindset, right? So when you have people who are doing these films, they're marketing these films. They know that women are more open to looking at another woman's body opposed to men looking at another man's body. Now, when it comes to these romance films, men are not going to the show in flocks to see these films. They go.
I think that's BS. I think what you're saying is bullshit. Because if that was the case, then the amount of women that watch porn would equal the amount of men that watch porn.
So let me ask you this, Jen.
In my opinion, women don't want to see women naked, or they would watch porn just as much as men watch porn. And in a romantic comedy,
but that's totally different, though. You're talking about porn. You talk about porn. You talk about porn is actually a reality. These people are actually having sex. Now, when you're dealing with a romantic comedy, you're escaping reality and you're going into a fantasy. And men, because we are more logical, we don't want to escape into that fantasy that you all are in. That's why when you all, a lot of women, when you all look at your relationship, a lot of you all measure your relationship or the success of your relationship with what you see on the big screen. And we, as men, we can never. That's just the reality.
What are you talking about right now? I mean, is this a white thing? Do white women do that?
All women do it.
No, not even just women. I mean,
but they just wait a minute. But they just started giving us romantic comedies. I'm talking about they just started giving romantic comedies.
Romantic comedy's been in the game for a minute for us. We've been having romantic comedy.
How so?
Brown Sugar, Boomerang, like I said, Coming to America. Coming to America is a romantic comedy. We've been having these ones forever.
I view those like that. I view those as comedies, but not Coming to America. To me, is not a romantic comedy. It's a comedy.
Well,
what's the premise of Coming to America? Coming to America is about a prince looking for love. It's a romantic comedy.
It's a romance. It's a romantic comedy.
Romantic comedy.
I don't see it like that.
It's hilarious from top to bottom, but it's a romantic comedy. It's the best film ever made. I mean, comedic. Actually, it's the best film ever made. But to me, that's my opinion. But yeah, and then also, how would you want to see a man nude? Would you want to see him flaccid, or just like, what would be the purpose of like that?
If he's packing flaccid, it's fine. He doesn't have to have a heart on.
Okay, I just don't. In majority of romantic comedies, you don't even see nudity in that manner. I don't believe. I don't know. I have to think about that, but
you don't. Not a romantic comedy.
Are you a fan of Tom Hardy?
Okay. I mean, everybody. I don't know. He cool. He good.
No,
He's a good.
He has his versatility is crazy. Anyway, so he did a movie called Bronson, which was kind of like it was a comedic take on this real prisoner that's in London, but they just did it. They did a comedic take on the guy's real life, and he did frontal nudity, like complete dick and balls out, and I was like, oh.
And that made your day?
No, because I was disappointed because he was.
You know what?
I was like, no.
You're making a great point. You made a great. So this was I think Denzel had this conversation or somebody, I can't remember, but yeah. It would kill women's fantasy on majority of their favorite actors, and then they would lose box office. You know what I'm saying? Like you have this, you be like, oh my God, I know he got a foot, like, and then they turn around and they sitting up there looking Oscar Mayer-ish, and then and now they ain't killed their own box office. Now they ain't working no more.
Yeah, so the other sausages.
There you go. So that those are the puns. Those could be the the reasons why. Because breast size you can see through the shirt, but and some and and vice versa could be the way for men too. But hey, people ain't gonna do it because it could kill them. It's the fantasy is dead once you see it. For men, the fantasy can still be there if you see a girl topless or whatever, or nude or whatever. You're like, oh, she's still, it's still there. But once you see us and you ain't happy, it's over. So
I was like, no, because I'm a big fan of Tom Hardy's work. Like I studied that dude, like from The Revenant to Warrior to the comic book. Like his versatility is insane. It's insane. Mm-hmm. So when I saw that movie, I was like, what is that? Why is that?
You ain't got to talk about him that. Like, see, then we get all defensive. Like, don't leave him alone. Don't do that.
I'm still a big fan of his work.
Mm-hmm.
There.
But you're not physically attracted to me. See, he killed it. He killed himself. He's feeling himself a little too much.
He killed it dead. Yeah.
He killed it dead.
Sheena Nyko said 50 Cent blessed us with a visual on Power. Wait a minute, 50 Cent showed his penis on Power? Is that what you're saying, Sheena? Really? Did he show his weenus?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't even. I mean, I've seen Power a few times, but I'm not a follower of it.
I hate Power. Like I loathe it. I fucking loathe it. I was just I watched it just to be in the loop of like, if there's a popular series, I always check out the writing and see what's going on with what everybody's talking about. But I hated it.
Yeah.
I totally hated it. So Mark is no longer on his own live. He's completely on.
I'm sharing the video and I'm responding to people. Read comments.
Okay. But just don't forget you got a show going on.
Hilarious. Oh yeah, I did, and I think now moving forward, I don't believe that, you know, I mean, I don't think sex is gonna be even a question anymore, storytelling wise. Yeah, because Rona, ain't nobody trying to get that. Ain't nobody trying to take no, you know. I think that I think it's gonna kind of fade back to how it was in like the early 40s and 50s, where, you know,
Did you show the idea?
Yeah, it's just gonna be hinted towards, you know, fade off into the sunset. Little moment of sunset, and they back in the bed smoking a cigarette.
Would you do frontal nudity, Malcolm?
I have a wife and a child.
Lots of actors do.
I could, you know, I don't want to. I mean, yeah.
So wait a minute. So that's a great point, though. That's an excellent point. So your wife would dictate. Being married would dictate which films what roles you would do and what roles you wouldn't do.
Well, I think it's only fair. It's well, that's, you know, to each his own. Firstly, for me, I wouldn't have done frontal nudity when I was single, so that wasn't even on the table. But I definitely run past, you know, read the script with my wife so she knows like what I'm getting into, what we're getting into, because we're a team. It's a business. So you gotta put that out there. We're gonna go over the script. We'll have that discussion if there is something going on physically, or, you know, depending on the relationship. But I mean, I'm not gonna leave her in the blind, like she don't know what's happening. Like, go watch the premiere, like, let's go to the premiere. She don't know what it's about. Nah, I can't do that. Nah.
That's awesome. I don't think I would do that. That's awesome.
You wouldn't go over the script with your significant other?
She's freezing up now.
No, I mean, I would tell them, first of all, I'm an actor, so I would expect whoever. Huh?
No, you were freezing up.
What?
Your computer was freezing up.
What?
Go ahead on, Jen. It was freezing up.
Oh, because you froze. Am I still freezing?
Yeah.
It's a little choppy.
Yeah, a little choppy, yeah.
I was saying that, you know, it's kind of like.
She'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely try to go over the script with my wife and let her know.
That's the thing.
You can't be like, just bring her to the premiere and I'm out here just tonguing somebody down. Like, what is this? It's a movie, baby. Hilarious.
Let me text her. I'm surprised Simeon ain't up in here.
I know. He be on here every day.
I see Latoya just popped in. Come on in, Latoya. You were saying, Jen?
I'm back?
You back.
Yes, you back. There you go.
All right. So, no, I was saying that, you know, like with any other job, whether your significant other works as an FBI agent or works in the post office, you know what that job entails, right? So I would think whoever I'm with knows that I may possibly get a role where there's gonna be a sex scene, a kissing scene. You know what I mean? I'm gonna play the love interest of someone. You know what I mean? I think that goes without saying. That person should already know that. The only time I would bring it up is if it was maybe an issue with that actor in the past. Like maybe that actor was my ex-boyfriend, or maybe that actor knows, you know what I mean, my significant other. Then I would be like, oh, by the way, I just booked a film and you know, John and them, you know, he's gonna be my boyfriend in the movie. But aside from that, no, I wouldn't. Like, it's my world, my job, it's my life. Like, it's not our acting job. It's not our world. And you know, I feel like as long as I'm not disrespecting, you know what I mean, or anything, and I'm not cheating, like, no, I'm not gonna. This isn't your job. This is my job. This is my love. This is my career. This is my passion. So I cannot not do something because you have an issue with it.
Did you see Monster Ball?
Say again?
Did you see Monster Ball?
Yes, I saw Monsters Ball.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So in a situation like that, did you think would you have ran that idea or that scene past your husband before you shot it?
Well, the thing is that I wouldn't have done that scene.
Okay.
I would have done that scene.
So what I'm saying, yeah, I agree with. That's what I'm saying. It's not that like she's gonna be like, oh no, you can't do that. No, it's simply just giving them the heads up. They just simply just giving them the heads up, like, yo, this is in there. Just wanted to let you know, da 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 da. You know, let's talk about it now. So, you know, because it's gonna happen, but let's talk about it. And then let's try to, you know, get past it, whatever. If there's an issue, then we'll talk about it, talk through it. I'll make sure, you know, of course, everything that I do has been tasteful. I never had any issues with any woman on any set. So like, she knows, you know, she knows who I am. She knows my character. But these are the things I would just have that conversation because of it's out of respect. Just, you know, ain't nothing about to stop. I'm still doing the job, but just out of respect. Like, yo, this is happening, da 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 da, and I'll be home at 9 o'clock. Like, that's about it. That's the main thing. And if FBI agents still gotta talk to their wives and be like, yo, babe, I gotta do a sting operation today. You know what that means? It's gonna be dangerous today. You know what I mean? So they still run everything. Why, you know, everything still get ran past mom.
She can't say don't go do that sting operation because they're
no.
His job.
But she gonna say an extra prayer. She gonna be like, okay, I know he's doing a sting operation today. Let me let you know. I know he's going into a dangerous situation. Bottom line, but he still got to go to work. He's letting her know.
But
so when you got your wife is gonna put an extra prayer on it, like, please don't let him fall in love with this actress.
Right.
it happens.
Yeah.
Everybody's crazy.
You said what? Jen, with that
I said everybody's freezing now.
Oh, nice and smooth.
We listen to you.
The what?
I said we're not froze.
It just started. Yes, you are. Pros to me.
Mark, am I freezing?
No, you're not.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. I'm gonna
turn the Wi-Fi off your phone. You got Wi-Fi on your phone on?
Okay, wait. Maybe this will be better. That's sad. Now can you see me? Can you see? Why is it?
You have to turn your what's name off. You got
too many devices on Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Possibility.
Huh?
Once you go out and come back in, you got to end it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm about to go watch me some Twilight Zone.
Right. Like, girl.
when do you have to go back?
What?
To the job, boy. You good?
I'm working from home.
Oh yeah, they have you for the rest of the year?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I might be good for like they say I might be able to do it forever, which would be dope. I'd be on set till forever. I'd be like, what?
man, that's love.
I'm good. So I'm digging that. Truly. You still going to LA? I saw you make that post.
Yeah, man, I have to go down there, man. But maybe
Yeah.
like in about 2 or 3 weeks or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's been cold here in Chicago.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
I have no idea what's going on. Like,
Wife been on me. She want to move to Atlanta so bad.
she's from Atlanta, right?
Nah, she from New Orleans.
Oh, y'all never thought? Oh, well, Atlanta is a better opportunity. Like so many.
Yeah.
You thought about it?
We looking. We looking. It's looking good. It's really looking good, especially when you work from the crib. So take that on the road.
Oh man.
One more time, I said I'm gonna try.
Okay.
I'm not getting it up, right?
You said what?
Oh.
So, any last things we have to say before we log off?
No, that was it, really. Just the short answer, yeah, you can have a successful career without nudity and sex scenes.
Absolutely.
It's done it's been happening since forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Angela Bassett never got naked. She had sex though. I mean, she got raped by Ike, but
yeah,
that was it.
What about in what's the movie with Stella got a groove back? What's that name?
Yeah, Stella got. Do you think that's a race thing?
Did she?
You mean I'm talking about what's love got to do with it?
What's love? No, I'm talking about Stella got a groove back. I was like, yeah, I think they did. But it wasn't, like I said, it was tasteful.
Yeah.
Nothing's being gratuitous, like power. Like straight up. Like this I can't think of anything and Monsters Ball, but I can't think of anything else that was like ridiculous. Yeah.
Do you think it's with big Hollywood, do you think it's a race thing?
What you mean?
How so?
Like most of the times it's white women, ass out, titty out, you know what I mean? They don't really portray women of color like that.
I don't know. I mean,
Then what the big old popping on the screen?
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You're like, what? Big old booties.
I didn't know what you said. You be swearing I hear you.
I said, they want the big old booty popping on the screen.
Yeah, they probably don't.
They be like, what?
That's the thing.
My man in Harlem Nights. Like,
right.
I ain't never coming home, Jan.
He sure did.
But a lot of actresses don't have a big old booty.
What?
A lot of them actresses don't have a big old booty.
You got a nice body.
No, yeah, you right. You right about that.
They're not built like, chicks that work in Magic City.
No. You ain't gonna find chicks built like Magic City unless they work in Magic City.
Huh? So that's my answer. Yeah, you can do it. But if you feel like, I think being a sex symbol, of course, you know what I mean? It ups the ante.
It does, but honestly, with Halle Berry, I would love to see her do a comedy. I would love to see her do just a straight up
she did a comedy.
Normal film where she ain't stressed the hell out.
Huh?
She ain't gotta do no nudity for me.
She did a comedy.
Yeah, I like
a comedy.
Yeah, Babs, yeah.
Yeah, I like when she does those types of projects.
She wasn't really
happy.
But I don't know why people talk like that. She can act.
She can act her ass off. They hate all they want to. Kidnap was dope that she did. Kidnap. She did Kidnap. There was no nudity in that. She was just, I mean, it was almost an action flick, really. But you don't need to, like I said, I mean, the sex gotta, if you write a sex scene, it's definitely gotta be validated. It's gotta mean something. It's really gotta take the story somewhere. Because you know, conversation, like I said, the subtle things in a relationship are what sells a relationship. Every time. All the time. Like, you know,
Yep.
just doing little things, making food. I mean, like, you know, and also I hate when movies have like love, using the word love in every scene. Hey, love you, bye bye. That's not realistic. You're not gonna say that in a marriage. You're not gonna say that in a relationship you've been in for years. You can be like, I'll see you later. You know, you kiss them and peace out. But it is what it is.
I say that a lot.
You say I love you.
So I'll watch it. Yes, I say it a lot.
Oh,
Especially, you know, with the way the world is, I try as much, even to my friends. I'm like, yo, I love you, dude. You know what I mean? My family, I say it a lot.
yeah.
You full of love.
She got the heart on.
See, even my shirt says, look at my shirt right now.
I love
right?
Big
You
Booty.
see that?
That plays the stereotype that Mark was talking about. I love Big Booty. Hilarious.
I'm talking about men, though. I'm talking about men.
Oh.
I'm talking about man booty.
Have y'all seen Hollywood? And I'm gonna stop after this. You watched it?
I tried to. I couldn't finish it.
Okay.
Jen, did you watch it?
What's it called?
Hollywood.
What's it called?
Hollywood.
No, where is that? I'll watch it today.
It's on Netflix.
It's about Rock Hudson or something, right?
I don't know. I couldn't finish.
I couldn't finish.
Where is it? Where's it playing?
On Netflix. I can't finish half of the shows I watch now.
Yeah.
I go back to Twilight. I try. I just go right back to Twilight Zone or after Hitchcock Presents or.
Yeah, I be on what's that? That True Detective on HBO. That's my joint.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Boy, oh, you'll love it. Season 1 and 3, not the second one. Second, we can skip over that. But season 1 and season 3, dope. And The Outside.
I'm sorry. You know what's a good show? The Killing. It was on. It was on. Initially it was on AMC. It's basically the first. It's basically about this girl gets killed, and it's two detectives trying to solve the case. In every episode, you think one person did it, and it's a whole nother twist. I'm like,
oh yeah, see, yeah, that sound almost like True Detective then, cause boy, and because you had what's the white dudes? Two, dang, I can't even think of their names. They were dang, what was it? I know. Well, season 3 is Mahershala and the white dude from Blade, the first one, and then.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah.
Oh man, the art that they did to make him look old, and then they play young. Man, True Detective is fire. Season 3, fire. And if you watch season 3, it's not like you're missing out on season 1, 2, because it's all different stories.
So start at season 1 to go to season 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll love it. You will love it. I promise you.
How many episodes?
I think it's about 10. They're an hour long. It's addictive, bro. You would not stop the storytelling. It's non-linear. You will love it. I promise you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. All right, man. So Jen, she said her computer crashed.
Oh, okay.
All right, brother. Enjoy your day. Tell your family I said what's going on. How they doing?
I will do, bro.
All right, take care.
You.
All right.
All right.